The mystery surrounding veteran Republican Senator Mitch McConnell has taken yet another strange turn. For weeks, questions have continued to swirl over the 84-year-old senator's health, with very little official information coming from his office. Now, a bizarre sighting outside McConnell's Washington, D.C. apartment has only added fuel to the speculation. According to TMZ, an unidentified man was seen outside the senator's residence carrying carpet samples, an unusual sight considering McConnell has remained hospitalized since June 14. The purpose of the visit remains unknown, but the timing immediately caught attention online, with many wondering whether it could be connected to the senator's ongoing medical situation. McConnell's exact condition has still not been publicly disclosed. His office has repeatedly declined to provide detailed updates, leaving speculation to grow. Much of that speculation intensified after a 911 call from last month was released publicly. The emergency call revealed that paramedics had been dispatched to an address listed as McConnell's Washington residence after reports of a cardiac arrest. Despite that revelation, officials have still not confirmed exactly what happened. When reporters recently sought another update, McConnell's office simply referred them back to a statement issued on June 22nd, saying, quote, "He is improving," and, quote, "working with his staff." Beyond that, no additional medical information has been released. The uncertainty surrounding Mitch McConnell's health has also sparked renewed scrutiny of his recent public appearances and those closest to him. Just weeks after his hospitalization, his wife, former Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, traveled to China, where photos showed her meeting Chinese Vice President Han Zheng just days after McConnell was admitted to hospital. The visit quickly drew attention, though neither Chao nor McConnell's office publicly linked the trip to the senator's medical condition. Meanwhile, Senate Republican leader John Thune has insisted McConnell remains actively involved behind the scenes. On July 1st, Thune revealed he had spoken with McConnell, saying, quote, "He's dialed in," and, quote, "He's following along with what we're doing this week." But not everyone is convinced. Democrat Charles Booker, who hopes to eventually replace McConnell, questioned whether the seriousness of the senator's condition is being fully disclosed. Booker said, quote, "Like every Kentuckian, I am concerned about Senator Mitch McConnell's health." He added that while he believes the senator is receiving excellent medical care, questions remain about whether McConnell is well enough to continue serving in office. The latest health scare is also far from the first. In October last year, McConnell fell at the Capitol after being approached by reporters. Then, in February 2025, he was photographed in a wheelchair outside the Capitol after suffering 2 consecutive falls. Despite those incidents, the Kentucky Republican has continued serving in the Senate, where he was first elected back in 1984, later becoming the longest-serving Republican Senate leader in American history. For now, however, the mystery surrounding his current condition continues, with official updates remaining scarce, and every new development only adding more questions than answers. The speculation reached another level after a so-called proof-of-life photo of Mitch McConnell went viral online. Some social media users even claimed the image had been created using artificial intelligence before the Washington Post conducted its own forensic analysis to determine whether the photo was authentic. What started as a simple hospital photo meant to reassure the public has now turned into a full-blown fact-check, and even late-night comedians couldn't resist taking shots. After weeks of speculation surrounding Senator Mitch McConnell's health, his office released what many quickly dubbed a proof-of-life photograph. The image showed the Kentucky Republican sitting upright in a hospital bed, holding that day's edition of the Washington Post, with his wife, former Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao, seated beside him. But instead of silencing the rumors, the photograph sparked a fresh wave of conspiracy theories online. Some social media users claimed the image looked artificial, with several even suggesting it had been generated using artificial intelligence. Those claims quickly prompted the Washington Post to launch its own fact-check. According to the newspaper, reporters obtained the original image directly from McConnell's office, along with its digital metadata, and consulted independent digital forensics expert Professor Hany Farid from the University of California. After examining the file, the newspaper reached a clear conclusion. As per the Washington Post, the image was authentic. It had been taken on Sunday, and investigators found no evidence suggesting it had been manipulated or created using AI. Professor Farid reportedly found no facial distortions, no unusual visual artifacts, and said the lighting throughout the room appeared completely plausible. In other words, despite the online speculation, the fact-check concluded the hospital photo was genuine. That didn't stop the internet or late-night television from having fun with it. The Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon poked fun at the now viral image, but not because he believed it was fake. Instead, Fallon joked about one very specific detail. Displaying the picture to his audience, he pointed out that McConnell appeared to be sitting upright while his wife, Elaine Chao, seemed to be physically supporting him from the side. Fallon joked, quote, "Nothing says perfect health like having someone hold you up when you're already sitting." He then followed it up with another joke saying, quote, "Looks like a husband and wife ventriloquist act." And taking one final swipe, Fallon quipped, quote, "Mitch said, 'I'm feeling great, and I'll be back at work by August 1997. While the Washington Post's investigation may have put the AI rumors to rest, the image itself continues to fuel debate, criticism, and plenty of late-night comedy. And Jimmy Fallon wasn't the only comedian who couldn't resist weighing in. The Daily Show host Jon Stewart also took aim at McConnell's now famous hospital photo, mocking the so-called proof-of-life image, before launching into a much broader criticism of America's aging political leadership. Here's what Stewart had to say. Jon Stewart has brutally mocked Senator Mitch McConnell after the veteran Republican attempted to silence growing speculation over his health by releasing what many online are calling a proof-of-life photo. The Kentucky senator's office shared an image showing McConnell sitting in a hospital bed, holding that day's newspaper, alongside a statement explaining that he had been hospitalized following a fall and a mild case of pneumonia. McConnell also addressed the public directly, saying that people of his generation often hesitate to talk about the realities of growing older, and insisted he was following every instruction from his doctors to speed up his recovery. But that explanation wasn't enough for Jon Stewart. During his Monday monologue, the late-night host sarcastically introduced the image by saying, quote, "Ladies and gentlemen, I give you totally believable evidence that Mitch McConnell is not only alive, but the happiest boy in the hospital." Stewart then turned his attention to McConnell's smile, joking, quote, "That's the smile of a Make-A-Wish kid whose wish was that everyone else in the hospital lost their health insurance because of his policies." The comedian didn't stop there. He slashed several AI-style edited images showing McConnell riding Splash Mountain, sitting on top of the Empire State Building, and even attending the FIFA World Cup, with the Grim Reaper quietly lurking behind him in the last one. Meanwhile, skepticism wasn't limited to comedy shows. Conservative commentator Megyn Kelly also questioned the senator's hospital photo, saying, quote, "It is a little off. This has a lot of tongues wagging about whether this is real, whether we can trust this photo." Kelly also pointed to reports that emergency responders allegedly performed CPR after McConnell was found unconscious at his home last month, questioning why CPR would be necessary if he hadn't suffered a heart attack. Jon Stewart also referenced the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham, admitting he couldn't believe Graham had died before McConnell. He then broadened his criticism beyond one politician, arguing that America's political leadership has become too old and too fragile. Stewart pointed to the growing list of elderly lawmakers dealing with serious health problems before saying, quote, "You cannot have the country ruled by people this old and frail." He also criticized what he described as a political system that rewards incumbency over performance, adding that many veteran lawmakers appear increasingly disconnected from a rapidly changing world. And Jon Stewart